You're very welcome back. Well, our next guest has just completed the incredible feat of running 7 marathons across 7 continents in just 7 days.
Oh, God, I was tired just listening to
Thinking
that.
about it,
Galway
yeah.
man Gary Thornton joins us now. We welcome Gary. It's the World Marathon Challenge, right? And you didn't just complete it, you actually won the things. Let's give you the credit. Now, the first question that comes to everybody's mind is why. But before you answer that, just tell us what was involved exactly.
I suppose it was like, as you said, 7 marathons in 7 continents in 7 days. So we started in Antarctica.
As you do.
As you do, yeah. Lucky me. And then we moved to Cape Town for Africa, and then Perth was Australia. Dubai was Asia. I'm getting tired already even saying it. Lisbon was Europe, and Cartagena in Colombia was South America, and then Miami was North America. So
that is incredible. In 7 days?
7 days, yeah.
OK, so before you tell us about the challenges of that, just tell us how you got involved in the first place. You are obviously a competitive marathon runner.
Yeah, I'm a competitive marathon runner. I've ran for over 20 years. I suppose in the last maybe 7 years, I've gone to marathon running. And I suppose this opportunity came up in early November and I just went with it. It's something really extreme. I suppose it's more ultra running than one individual city marathon, which is what I usually do. But I suppose I just try it and see how I get on. I knew it'd be extreme and something different, so it was probably a move into the unknown for me. But you know, I train all the time, so I suppose I probably knew I'd have the endurance to do it. Yeah.
So, I mean, the thing for me is a marathon physically tough and the demanding, the running of it, but the conditions, the travelling, was that even, I guess, tougher for you than the actual running, or what was the toughest part?
I suppose that probably was, because I didn't foresee that was going to be an issue. I didn't really give it much thought beforehand, because I kind of went with the attitude that I'd be just wasting energy thinking about all the flying and all the different aspects that I wouldn't have control over. Usually I would have control over stuff in the city marathon where I'm coming in on a Friday evening, the race is on Sunday morning, I have my hotel, I have my usual food, and I suppose my sleep routine would be the same as when you're at home, but that all went out the window, and I suppose that was the unknown part, and I suppose it probably didn't go like I wanted it to, but I just managed it.
Your body must have been absolutely wrecked.
I suppose it probably was. I slowed in the last 3 marathons, but I suppose you just deal with it and I suppose you manage it as you go along.
So you had ran 7 marathons in total before you took on this particular challenge.
Yeah.
So you doubled it in a week.
I doubled it in a week, yeah. So I'm 14 now. So maybe I'll retire now. I'll leave it at 14.
I'm guessing you're not about to retire anytime soon. It's interesting that you say you wouldn't overanalyze or even give much thought to the travel and the food and all the arrangements because you don't want to waste energy. So you're very efficient even with your thoughts.
I suppose mentally I wouldn't have been as strong maybe 6 or 7 years ago, but when you go to the marathon, I suppose it's a bigger event. It's 2+ hours. It's maybe, I suppose my fastest is 2:17, but in this situation it was the marathons were much longer, so mentally I suppose it took more energy out of me, and then add the travel and the lack of sleep and not having your usual food. So
and missing your daughter's first birthday.
yeah, missing
Go on, rub it in. Rub it in.
Yeah, missing Cora's first birthday. Yeah, I was in Dubai that evening. We were on the promenade there, so we sent her a message via WhatsApp, and then we had the party the following Saturday when we came back. So
to make it up.
Yeah, to make it up. Yeah, it'll be a good story in 15 years' time, you know.
Was there any point where you thought, oh, I can't get through this? That it was like, what was the lowest point, or was there a low point?
Cartagena was difficult because it was the 6th marathon. I knew the only thing I did research beforehand was the temperatures in each location. So I knew Cartagena was going to be tough because it was the 6th marathon. It was in South America. It was high humidity, high temperatures. So I knew that was going to be the toughest one because it was the second last one. And I did stop a few times at Cartagena because I needed to readjust myself and think about what kind of fluids I'd be taking. And it was extremely hot. So I suppose that was the most difficult part.
Mentally, do you listen to music when you're doing? I know I'm doing like a 5K run, with music on, like trying to think of nothing else.
It does keep you going, though.
Yeah, the boredom, or like mentally, how do you get through what's?
I don't know. It's just trained and it's normalised to me. I'd never listen to music because I suppose when you're out running, you're always dealing. I suppose life is pretty busy in our generation, and I suppose I like not having noise, which is music. When I'm out, I just want to listen to stuff
Clear
and
your
gather
head.
my thoughts and process stuff from the day, or think of something that's going to happen the next day and how I'm going to deal with it and that. So I suppose I have probably learnt over time to just go into neutral when it comes to difficult mental
Blank your
situations.
mind.
Yeah,
For the marathon runners tuned in this morning, the average time 3:12. It's ridiculously impressive, isn't it?
For a one-off marathon, never mind
seven.
yeah.
Were you happy
and
with it,
there's
by the
your-
way? Would you think, I could have done better?
No, I wasn't. No, I could have done better, I think. I suppose there's a competitive element in me, but I suppose it was the unknown. So I didn't really have a time target. Time went out the window, definitely in the last 3. I was just getting from A to B. And
when you crossed the line, did you think, never doing this again? Or
I just said that,
sign me up next year?
no, I don't. No, I probably won't do it again. But you never know.
Did you get a big celebratory moment from the senior infants class that you teach?
I did, yeah. Well, I got about 5 minutes off them. You know, 5 and 6-year-olds forget stuff pretty quickly.
Short
you know,
attention
span.
yeah. They were loving it though, and it was great energy in the school afterwards.
That's
so
brilliant.
Deserves
yeah.
to be remembered. Fantastic achievement.
Yeah.
Well done, Gary. Brilliant
Thanks
stuff.
very much, guys.